So here, if you want to get a very good example of this, is the capital of the United States in Washington, D.C. Now, people will say, oh, well, you know, this is a very complicated building. It's the White House, and they built basement structures for different things. But we're talking about the idea that this building was built in either the 1700s, and they said it was burnt down. They always say stuff was burnt down. And rebuilt or reconstructed in the 1800s after the war with the British, the 1800s war. What we're looking at here is we have a country that was in constant conflict, financially struggling and trying to get itself on its feet, do trade, commerce. And here you're looking at, at least 100 feet of basement, and possibly what we're looking at is the old part of the entranceway, perhaps underneath with these columns. And who in the 1700s, with the technology they said they had of shovels and wheelbarrows and wagons, who at this time could have dug out the basement and the levels to go down 100 feet into and who knows if it goes farther than this? We don't know. Who dug this out with shovels for the foundation this long ago? This is the narrative that makes us think this building actually went down farther. And those steps you see in the front is a later added on facade. Hard to say, but in the White House there are buried windows around the sides of the building and stuff where no one, we know, builds a structure and then buries the windows to the basement halfway in dirt.
Hey guys, how you doing? Just wanted to let you know that if you wanted to get a copy of this book to study and learn all of this stuff I'm talking about, what took about 3 years worth of research, it's in print form or a digital form. And we have a new discussion group on school where instead of being trolled by people, you can join with like-minded people who are studying all of this information and looking for answers. And there you can find a link to get this book, all this, plus all of the information, the videos we share, and you can talk about stuff and learn a lot of things in this group that, where people who think like you are sharing information, and people are really smart. They've got a lot of information they can share, and I'm sure you do too. So you can learn a lot of things as well. So come over there and join. There'll be a link to join up on our school platform.
So take a look here. We know that no one is going to take out the time to haul in dirt and fill in their entire city and bury all of the basement floors in dirt. So all around the world, just as here, something has buried the old world, the streets, the things that were underneath of it. I don't know if you've seen that fake image of the moon, but they proved it was photoshopped even back then. And this is where they film all the spacewalks, according to my opinion. So NASA is in on the hoax of hiding the entire world structure, perhaps flat Earth. Oops, here's the space shuttle in its real image. So we know everything that's going on is a hoax to us anymore, and we have caught on. Some say the moon is actually a map reflecting the continents of the Earth, probably not even showing the entire flat Earth plane, which is huge. Here we see images of things that obviously we don't take the time to construct such beautiful things. And the things we did have in the United States in different places, they tore them down, such as hotels. They tore down this hotel. They tore down a very famous hotel, the Waldorf Astoria, supposedly, in New York City, in order to build the Empire State Building. I don't know if you've ever looked up images of this Waldorf Astoria. But it was such a remarkably magnificent building. There's no way that it was built in the time frame they said it was built and with the tools they said it was built with. It looks like a structure you would see in St. Petersburg, those beautiful structures as we saw earlier. And then, so during the Great Depression in the United States, where no one was paying attention to what was going on really, they were too impoverished, too worried about making a living or whatever was going on, and they didn't have the internet like we do now. They tell us that they built the entire, so that they tell us they tore down this Waldorf Astoria, this gigantic hotel. They tore it down, and then they constructed look at this building here. Then they said they constructed the Empire State Building in 1 year. Now, some of you could say, oh, well, possibly it could be done. Do you know that when you get on the internet and you start looking at the official records of all these massive buildings throughout cities in the United States, doesn't matter how ornate or how massive, they claim that these buildings were built in 1 to 2 years. Most of them claim they were built in a year. But when you ask an architect how long it would take just for the logistics to set up the infrastructure to build this building, even to draw out the plans for the basement and the structures themselves, it could take a year just to do that. Or it could take a year just to get the permits and the plans together and the materials, because the materials have to be made. So our timeline and the information that they are giving us, we know factually, just from common sense, but factually now, they've just lied to us. And we're not 8 years old in elementary school anymore. And we're catching on to what they have done.